Relationship Wednesdays with the Collective on Radio 2000. And exclusively again this morning, a specialist joins us once more. She's part of the family, Dr. Janet Rogers. And today we're chatting about blended families, step families, and dealing with children from previous relationships. So integrating this successfully can be very, very challenging. So we have invited our professional, our specialist, Dr. Janet Rogers. Good morning. Good to have you with us. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Rogers.
Good morning to you, ladies. Thank you so much for having me on air again.
Relationship Wednesdays with the Collective on Radio 2000. And exclusively again this morning, a specialist joins us once more. She's part of the family, Dr. Janet Rogers. And today we're chatting about blended families, step families, and dealing with children from previous relationships. So integrating this successfully can be very, very challenging. So we have invited our professional, our specialist, Dr. Janet Rogers. Good morning. Good to have you with us. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Rogers.
Good morning to you, ladies. Thank you so much for having me on air again today.
Thank you for coming through. We always appreciate the fact that you're just a call away, and every time you call, you're happy to come and join us. Today is quite an important one when we look at families. We're looking at families today, blended families, and bringing them together. Okay, with special focus on, of course, starting a new family from another family, so to speak. So trying to make sense of it is a blended family. I mean, correct me if I'm mistaken, would be if I have children from a previous relationship and my partner has children from a previous relationship, and trying to merge that into one new family. Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
All right. So I guess, there are many challenges that come with that kind of situation. Firstly, I mean, when we look at starting the dating process, from the beginning, it's already a challenge because there are questions of when exactly should you be introducing your children to your new partner, when is the right time, how you should be approaching it, I mean, obviously with things like what if we break up in mind. So where should I be starting with that situation?
Well, first and foremost, you will have to look at, here you are married before, and now you are divorced, you're single, and maybe you've been single for quite a while, let's take it like 5 years, and you realize that these children who you have and who you love so much and who you've been investing time with are growing up. And as they grow up, they are definitely going to fly away. And if they do that, you need to also to have your personal friend, your spouse, to be with you. So you have to enter again the dating game and start dating. But how are you dating? Are you dating with the idea that you want to have just a boyfriend, or are you dating in respect that you actually want a husband or a wife? That is a very crucial question. Because if you want a husband and if you want a spouse, then you've got to be careful who you are dating. Is this person old enough? Do they have their own children? Are you getting married to have other children? Or why are you doing that? And that becomes crucial because you are no longer me. It is we. My children and I are going to enter into this relationship. And when it comes to when to introduce this person to your children, you have to be sure about where that relationship is going. Are you really going to get married? Because if I'm going to introduce this man or this woman as a partner, and then 1 year down the line they are out, and then I bring another one to the house, you don't do that. First, you don't bring them to your house, ever. Not unless you're sure. Not unless you're certain, because children operate from what they see more than what they hear. And they don't want to see their mom or dad with 2, 3, 4 different girlfriends every now and then in their home. When the real one comes, they won't even be able to tell the difference. So if you're going to do your dating, do it outside. Don't bring them in the house until you are certainly sure that this marriage is going to work and you're going to get married. And they also know that you have children. Don't hide your children. Absolutely. And then speak at the last moment. No. You've got to tell him from the beginning, this is me, and this is my package, this is me with my twin boys, this is me with my girls, this is me as I am.
I think it's a beautiful starting point, Dr. Rogers, that you've clarified, because the clarification comes with you as an individual, being clear on your intent, first and foremost, with the partner, with the child, and your life. And I think that's a good starting ground. Today on Relationship Wednesdays with Dr. Janet Rogers, we're really looking at the intricacy of integrating families, particularly in the world we live in. The truth and the reality is there are many broken structures. And when families get together, the challenges are incredible. I mean, offline, we're having a chat with Dr. Rogers, and if you don't really give it considerate thought, you're heading into a danger zone. So we would like you to participate with us as well. If you are in a situation, if you're considering merging two families, please do integrate and use this opportunity to connect with us. You can give us a call on 089 110 2000. Leave your messages on Facebook, alternatively on Twitter as well.
So, Dr. Rogers, we've established that in the dating phases, it's very important to make sure and be certain of what will be happening in the future. Have a plan before you start bringing children into the situation. All right. So you've met your partner. You're married. He has children. You have children. Starting that introductory process, because I remember in high school, I had friends, and there were two ladies, two girls. One came with dad, the other came with mom, and they had to, of course, live in this blended family. And there were a lot of issues there in terms of, the parents loved them both, but they felt there was a sense of favoritism here and there. No, my dad doesn't like my sister because, obviously it's not her biological child, and so on and so forth. So that's just one of the challenges. What are some of the other challenges? If you can just mention one for now.
First of all, the challenges are there, and they are very strong from both sides, from the parents, the new parents, and also from the children. Remember, the whole thing is like a triangle. There is you and your biological children. There is you and your spouse's child. There is that relationship. Then there is you and your spouse. Then there is your spouse with your own biological children. And then there is the relationship between the two children of the two spouses. All right? That is the scenario of the relationship. Then here you are now. You come into a house. Let's say I get married and my spouse comes into my house. And here I am. I was used to my house with my own daughter only. And then he comes now with his son, and they join us. Now my daughter will most probably feel our privacy has been invaded, all right, by this new person who has come and now who has made my home their home. So you'll find that the first thing that a parent does is that you, as the parent, and the biological mother or the biological father of that child, you must be able to have a very good relationship with them. They are the starting point. How do you relate with your child? Does your child respect you? Does your child honor you? Do you have a loving relationship? Because that is where it's going to be transferred to the other party, to their stepfather or to their stepmother. If there is no respect, if there is no honor between you and your biological child, then when they go to the father, the stepfather, then it's going to say, who are you? Who are you? How can you talk to me like that? You're not my mother. You're not even my father. Because between you and your biological children do not have respect for one another. And then you will find that when these two children come now into the home, here is your biological child and the child of your spouse. They come into one home now, and they are all living together. You have to make sure that you love the spouse, that you love the child of your spouse very much, and make them feel welcome and make them feel that they are part of this family, and them too. But a lot of that depends on how the children have grown up.
All right. So, it starts from, how you yourself have raised your own children in your own situation. All right. Give us a call, 089 110 2000, if you have any questions or concern. Perhaps you just got into a blended family. You just merged with your husband's family, or vice versa. We'd like to hear from you. You can also tweet us your questions if you prefer at 2000FM SA, hashtag the collective 2000. Let's find out what's happening. News headlines time. Thank you, Kumbu.
This.
The Collective, the coolest show on the airwaves.
Certainly is, and you're cool because you're with us. So thank you for being with us on a Relationship Wednesday with the Collective on Radio 2000. Dr. Janet Rogers is with us, and today we're integrating and discussing the challenges and the ideas of blended families, step families, and dealing with children from previous relationships. We have opened the lines, 089 110 2000. We go to Durban. I believe we have Diane on the line. Diane, good morning. Welcome to Radio 2000.
Good morning. Thank you for a super program.
Fabulous. Thank you. We've got Dr. Rogers with us. Do go ahead and pose your question.
I just really wanted to comment as I remarried and about 27 years ago, and both of us had children, and obviously were very much in love and wanted to get the family together. Mm-hmm. We tried very, very hard, but at the end of the day, all I can comment on right now is that it's not just husband, wife, and two lots of children. It's the ex-mother and the ex-father that actually cause great consternation in the family, because the stepchildren obviously want to often go to stay with their mother or the separated father or whatever. And when they come back home, they come back burdened with a whole lot of questions about what is your mommy doing now and what is your daddy doing now. And this can cause great conflict.
Absolutely. Hear you clearly. Wow. Diane, thank you for the call. Is that what you want to share with us? Are you still married, Diane?
Yes.
Okay.
No, unfortunately, I was married for 26 years. I stuck it out and raised the children and got divorced 2 years ago.
Wow. Diane, thanks for sharing. Dr. Rogers.
Diane, thank you so much for that question. And indeed, what she has said is true. You will find that the two people who are married, and the stepfather and the stepmother, they are together and they love one another and they want their family to succeed. But the exes, depending on how they view this relationship and what caused them to divorce, plays a very, very major role in your life. The children are with you, you have certain rules and you have set up a certain standard in your house and you operate within a certain atmosphere. And then when the child goes to visit their biological parent, either father or mother or whoever they are, and that parent does not like that their former husband is already married to someone else, they have the tendency to poison the mind of the child against the new relationship that is there. And when they come back home, the respect and the honor they had for you, you'll find has diminished. And it becomes a very tiring game every time the child has to go and then come back. So you've got to set up, that's why you are being told to sort out your relationship in the beginning, especially when you look at the age gap. When you get married with children who come as a package, when the children are below 9 years, it is easier because then they will grow up with your setting. But when the children between 9 and 16 and they're already maturing and then they have to keep on going to their biological parents, it becomes a very, very bad thing for them. Because if especially they are being told ills about their father or ills about their mother, then they get this negative image and then they feel you don't love them. Even when you are showing love to them, they think you are displaying. It's not true. It's not sincere. That's why sometimes a parent goes the extra mile. A good parent goes the extra mile and decides, okay, let me talk to the biological mother or father of my stepchild and tell them, these are children. They didn't cause the divorce, but we have to bring them up, all of us together. And we need to set up rules and regulations whereby these children are going to grow in a healthy environment. And it takes a lot. It really takes a lot of courage to do that. But sometimes you do that so that things work out better for all of you. And Diane, I'm sorry for you, to have to go through a second divorce. But yes, a good relationship can be highly infected by the children. That's why the children have got to understand that mom is going to get married, father is going to get married, because in any case, you are also going to fly away and leave them, and they need a life of their own. So they've got to understand that, and it's the way that is done that matters a lot in that family.
I like it, the way that it's done.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can get some time to talk and get a little bit into merging two cultures. If I'm coming with my children and, brought up my children in a certain way, in a Setswana way, and I have to, of course, get into a relationship with somebody who's French, for instance. How do you merge two different cultures in a family? We'll get into that shortly. but let's go to a call. Line 2. Caroline, you're calling us from Bloemfontein. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. What's your question?
My question is, my fiance has 2 kids, and I don't have kids of my own. I just wanted to know, how am I going to handle that, because I don't have a kid at all.
Good question, Caroline. Wow.
And at some point, we're going to have to live together.
First and foremost, Caroline, it takes courage to be able to agree to marry a man who already has 2 children and you don't have any. But these children that that are coming into your marriage, the decision has to be mostly made between the father and the biological mother of those children, that those children, who is going to stay with them permanently. That is a very clear question, so that if they are going to stay with you permanently, then they see you as their mother. You don't have to impose yourself as their mother, but they see you as their mother, and they see your house as their home. When they go to their biological mother, then they are going to visit, but that's not their home. That's a holiday place. That's the visit, but their home is where you are. Those boundaries have to be very, very clear that are set up with that. And when you are able to love these children, then even when your own children are born, they are going to say, this is my sister and this is my brother. And that becomes very important. And when you love them and show them love and welcome them, and then they also see the respect that you give their father, then they will also respond to that, because children respond to stimuli. The way, a child, even a small child of 3 years, can feel if you hate them. Just by looking at them, they will feel it. So eventually they will know that your heart is there and you're right, and they are going to respond to you, because everybody responds to love. Everybody responds to love. If they're given the right dose, they will definitely respond.
I have a quick question, Caroline. Are you comfortable with the fact that your partner has a child?
I'm just confused, because I haven't been in this situation before. I don't know how is it going to be possible.
Okay,
but because I like you.
But what are the challenges? Are there issues from your partner's baby mama, so to speak? Is she getting involved in your relationship? Is that the challenge?
No, it hasn't come to that.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck to you. I guess communicating with your partner is also quite important in this situation.
One question. Let me just add something to you, Caroline. One thing is, as you are getting married to this man, if you are already not married, you should first of all make sure that he loves you and is ready to protect you. That means when the children are being rude or whatever something, he must be able to respect and stand by you. It is not you to impose or get respect for yourself from the children. Your husband has to stand for you and say, you can't talk to my wife that way. You cannot be rude to that way, because if he's not ready to defend you, then I'm sorry, you can't survive in that relationship. You certainly
Very
can't.
good points. Caroline, I hope that disarms and enables you. Thank you for your call.
You.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Caroline. Good luck to you. All right. So we're going to continue our discussion with Dr. Rogers. Please, we are waiting to take your call. If you have any questions or concerns with regards to blended families, bringing 2 families that already exist together under one roof. If you have any challenges, you're welcome to give us a call. And yes, hopefully you're feeling good at the end of this discussion with a couple of answers to your questions.
Because it's our music, your memories, and you're part of it. Lyra's feeling good. 4, or feel good rather. I hope you're feeling good. 4 before 11, we have Dr. Janet Rogers with us live in studio. And today we're integrating a talk on families, step families, and children from previous relationships, and dealing with this integration of the 2 families. I believe we are going to take another caller, and then hopefully we can really surmise this. I think we need to have a part 2 of this as well, because there's so much, and it's so relative to really unpack the dynamics and see how you can make a success of your family. We go to Mahikeng, and we have Sam on the line. Sam, thank you for calling. Welcome to Radio 2000.
Good day, how are you?
I'm well today, Sam. I'm good, thank you. The doctor's in the house. Go ahead and speak with her.
Hello?
Can you hear us, Sam?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Excellent. Dr. Rogers is with us. Go ahead.
You know what? My question is, I'm in a relationship with a woman. She was married and divorced, and she's got 2 children.
We're listening.
Yeah, but we get along well with the children. I have my own 2 children as well from my previous marriage. And now, last year I proposed that we get married, but I don't seem to find the real reason why we are stalling, because she cannot actually give me the right reasons. Why can't we get married now? I just want to find out what could be the reasons that she will delay us getting married.
Well, thank you so much, Sam from Mafikeng. Yes, your wife to be, she can be afraid of what's going to happen in this relationship. She must be sure that you're going to give her the security she needs for her, from your children, and to her own children. And are you all going to live in one home, in one house? Yes, she needs. Yeah, she needs to know that, because if she's not sure, the reason why you find a woman delaying is, first of all, she went through a divorce, and maybe the divorce was very painful, and she doesn't want a repeat of that. So she's got to be sure that this one is a different kind of relationship, and that all the children are going to be able to relate and work together, and you're going to love her children and love her, and she's going to be protected from your own children by you. You set up the standard. And if if those things are not sure, I mean, a woman and her children are something else. They love one another so much, and a woman sees, this is my responsibility, these are my children. And if another man is going to come, and maybe, and you will find that one destructive issue that happens in marriages all the time, where you have stepchildren, is whereby there is selfishness of one of the spouses, and selfishness from the children of your spouse. You'll find, especially girls and their fathers. Girls love their fathers so much. And here you are, you've gotten married to my dad. Another woman has come in, and now this daughter has to fight for the protection and say, you're taking my dad away. And that child is selfish to themselves, and they are going to destroy that relationship. And so are mothers and their sons. It goes like that. So selfishness is one aspect whereby it destroys a relationship quite easily. And even sometimes the language that is used within that family, it's also another challenge. The language that is used, you as a parent say, how you can't tell my child like that. Now you're telling your spouse not to tell your biological child like that. Then what does that mean? Then the child knows, okay, so my stepfather cannot tell me anything, because you're speaking as if it's my child. You should change the language. And one thing I always say is, like me, I have twins, and they have a stepfather. When I'm talking to their stepfather, I always tell him, your children need this, and those are my biological children. Your children need this. Yeah. And when now he's talking to me about his son, my stepson, my husband is always telling me, your son, who is his biological father. So that language does matter a lot. Then the children realize, hey, this is one family. So, and again, you also have to value, what is, are you getting married for a day, or for a year, or for a decade, or for a lifetime? You've got, so that you set up your boundaries, and you set up your foundations, right? Then you can know that this institution of marriage, is it there to stay, or is it an overnight stand? Which is which?
All right. Thank you so much, Sam Kumahikeng. Thank you so much for the call. Best of luck to you. All right. So I guess, Dr. Rogers, just to wrap things up, it seems, especially, just listening to Sam's situation, blending the family, and his lady's not too certain. I guess pre-counseling is quite important. How important is it to involve the children in that counseling process very quickly?
I can't even tell you how valuable that is. First, you two who are getting married, or you people who are in love, need to really get counseling, because of the different cultures, different upbringing, and the different sort of pain that you went through in your previous divorce. You don't want to make the same mistake. That is why, yeah. And if I was to touch on some of the serious things that actually affect marriages,
we have run out of time. Unfortunately, we can't get into that right now. But I know that you post quite a number of articles on your website that people can go through for some assistance as well. Your website address again?
My website address is www.drjanet.co.za, and it's Dr. Janet School of Relationship and Purpose. And on 25th of April at Military Museum, we are going to have a one-day seminar, which is what is marriage, is it relevant today, and what's wrong with staying together on a fast trial. So welcome to Military Museum, 10:30 in the morning, and enjoy yourself, and you'll be free to ask questions as you wish. There'll be 3 speakers, so you'll have a ball on that day.
Sounds amazing. So yes, if you're looking to get into marriage, I'm sure this could be quite valuable. So all the details on drrogers.co.za. Let's get into it. It's news time, 11 o'clock.